everybody, this is Noelle for Petitti Garden Centers, and we're here at our Oakwood Village store. We love it here, and it is May, so we're going to talk about what's in store today. And can you believe it? Just a month ago, we were at Casa Verde, and all the annuals are starting to fill out and bloom, well, bud up, and some of them are blooming really well. And now they're here in stores, so lots of color to show you. I wanted to show you this great container, this combo garden here. This is one of our mandevilla combos. Mandevilla, this one's going to be a white mandevilla that's growing up. Actually, this is actually a Diplodenia. I can tell by the foliage. A little bit thicker foliage, but smaller, a little bit smaller flower, but they're getting it trained to go over this hoop here. You've got one on either side. Sun patience right in the middle. Look at that. And then look at your Petunias down below as kind of a spiller. We've got a sweet potato vine here. And then also that awesome euphorbia, that filler. It could be diamond frost, diamond snow. There's lots of different varieties, but always a great filler for sun and shade. Again, this is sun side of the garden. I like this one too. Taylor, can you pan to this one? Look at that big pink flower. Again, sun impatiens. Have more Lismachia, or we call this golden moneywort. Lismachia nummularia is the ground cover there. And then, of course, that euphorbia filling in. There's some petunias. They haven't quite opened just yet, but they're budded and ready to go. So great combinations for the sun. Yay! We're over now in the shade section of the greenhouse. And since we were talking about combos, I just think these are such great shade options for you. If you do have that shady spot, porch, patio, what have you, and they'll work so well for you. The one in the front is actually called Gloria Rose. Dracaena in the middle there. Beautiful hypoestes or polka dot plant. Again, euphorbia, because it works both in sun and shade, so very versatile. And then this double pink impatient. Isn't that lovely? And then look at all of the coleus. This is what we call the Main Street combo. It has all different types of ruffled coleus in it. Lots of burgundy, lots of pink, lots of green there. I have this lovely Sunbatians combo. So we've got that coral Sunpatient in there, the euphorbia again, and the Dracaena spike. Very simple, but very pretty. Wonderful for the shade again, because your Sunpatients and your euphorbia and your Dracaena spike, they can go anywhere. They're very, very versatile. So you can stick them in the full sun. You can stick them in the full shade. They do really, really nicely. And of course, lots of coleus combos too. So if you love coleus, come and look in the shade. But I should mention that most of your coleus that you'll find is also able to transfer into the sun, okay? So most of these varieties, same thing, very versatile, good options for the shade, of course, but good options for the sun too. We're in the shade section of the greenhouse, annual greenhouse, and I wanted to show you some new Guinea impatiens. Again, these are shade New Guineas. So sun patients are a New Guinea type of impatient that can grow anywhere, full shade to full sun, okay? The petticoat series that I'm going to show you here are just for those shady conditions, okay? But their colors are fairly unique and fun, so I wanted you to see them. And petticoats are nice and compact, nice and low-mounded, beautiful flowers, same large impatient type flower. Again, I show this a lot with impatiens. I'm going to take this flower off, but they have this nectary that is behind the flower. You see that? And so your long-nosed insects and birds, like hummingbirds, butterfly moths, or hummingbird moths rather, and then your long-tongued bees, they love that nectary. So look for that. And that's really all impatiens and New Guineas. So just look for that. Now, this petticoat, this one is called Cherry Blossom, which is a very appropriate, lovely bicolor, pink, little bit deeper reddish pink in the center, kind of fades to white. So I absolutely love that color. I think it's adorable. This one is called Orange Orchid. Again, petticoat series of New Guineas, but really, really beautiful, kind of coral orange with sort of a pinky eye right in the middle and then some white fading, which I absolutely love. This one, Taylor and I are debating. This one is called Blue Star. And the reason we're debating is we're not really sure why they called it Blue Star, other than if you look at this foliage, it's sort of, it's very dark and it has a little bit of a bluish sheen to it. So I'm kind of wondering if that's why they named it that. But the flowers are a bicolor fuchsia and red. They are really, really stunning, very, very pretty out there, really kind of pop out of that dark foliage. So really pretty. The whites, the pinks, of course, so your standard colors are there, and petticoats, the reds as well. But look at this one. This one's called Dark Night. So really unusual, kind of a reddish magenta color with this, a little bit darker green leaf with this one as well, a hint of burgundy to it, but really beautiful series. And you just can't go wrong with the petticoats in the shade. There are many plants to grow in the shade, especially for annual color. But one of my favorites is this begonia up above. And I talk about dragonwing all the time, so I'm sorry if y'all are like, yes, Noelle, we know. But this crop of dragonwings came in just lovely this year, and I'm so excited about it. Beautiful wing-shaped green foliage, very thick, and then look at that, just a soft red flower just hanging down. They have that beautiful vase shape going. You can see it kind of rounded on top, really, really beautiful. But these dragon wings, again, for shade, wonderful, and will grow in the sun as well. You might see a little bit of red hint on the edges of the leaves, indicating a lot of sunlight, a lot of heat there, but they will do really, really nicely. And they're virtually self-cleaning. They'll kind of pop off those red flowers and bring on new. But of course, I always tell you with begonias, they like to be deadheaded and touched, and they will continue to produce for you. So look for those. And there's so many begonias, different colors to choose from. These are all Riger begonias here in our Color Your Garden selection. Rainbow of colors, almost. I haven't seen like a deep purple yet in the begonias, but for the most part, lots of color options there. And then I wanted to show you a really good complement with your begonias, of course, are going to be your caladiums. Sometimes we call these elephant ears as well. Or a big bulb down in the soil that will fill out. But you've got so many different colors and patterns with the caladiums. This is one of my favorites. This polka dotted one is called Miss Muffet. Really, really cute. But again, look for these two, the combinations of the begonias and the caladiums. Great in the shade. We're back in the sun. We're jumping back and forth. But I wanted to show you some new Alstroemeria, or poor man's orchid. They're also known as. And just so you know, this is Taylor's favorite annual. But little hint here for sunny spots, well-drained soils. This plant is in the lily family, so there's a little bit of a bulb in the soil here. And they have been wintering over really well for us. So just put them in a sunny spot, well-drained soil, and have fun with them. Alstroemeria, of course, is going to be an excellent cut flower. They're one of the longest lasting cut flower stems. And believe me, you can put them in a vase for 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, and they'll still hold on to their color easy, no problem. We've got a couple new color varieties because we really have filled out. This is called the Colorita series here. We really have filled out our Alstroemeria. And again, rainbow of colors, really, really beautiful. This one is called Elaine Orange. We'll show you the Elaine coral, more of a coral color, but really, really gorgeous. Lots of markings, yellow in the center. So really pretty. Absolutely love it. There's reds. There are whites. This is Clarissa right here with this variegation. Beautiful variegated leaf. Always talk to you about putting variegated leaves in the garden because when they are not flowering for whatever reason, you'll always have that foliage to make it look interesting. Mulan through here, the purples. Here's Elaine, regular Elaine. You can tell a little bit more coral pink versus orange. And then we have variegated reds. We have, deep rose pinks, almost a fuchsia there. This is a new one for us right here. And I forget her name already. Teresa. Okay, perfect for Teresa. And look at that kind of soft pink color with the white markings and creamy markings inside. They are just the coolest plant. We're in the sun again. So sun area, beautiful new Dahlia series that we're growing this year. A little bit more compact than some of the others that we've grown in the past, but we think it's going to work really, really nicely and color your garden with these pots. This is the Sherry series, and look at these bicolor blooms right here, okay? This is abstract purple, and we love dahlias because they do so well in those sunny conditions. They are really, really long blooming. The larger flowers they produce, you have to go in and deadhead them a little bit, but not a lot. They'll still produce more buds underneath, and they're a good deer-resistant annual. So that's really nice with the dahlias, but we absolutely love these new colors. They're so beautiful. So look at this one. This is a bicolor pink. I already forgot the name, Taylor. Sorry. Sherry pink lace. So that's always really nice. And this one's red flare. Look at that one. Really, really beautiful. Sort of curly petals here. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. Solid colors as well. Beautiful purple and a red as well. Let me see if I can find a nice open red. Look at that. So again, low and compact, usually about 14 to 18 inches tall. So maybe up to 1.5 feet. And then about 10 to 12 inches wide. Really beautiful, repeat dahlia blooms. Love it. We're still in the sun, folks, and I wanted to show you the hot new annual this year. This is Jamesbrittenia, long name. It is a relative to Bacopa. Flowers are similar, but these are big. These are very large Bacopa-like flowers. Beautiful lavender color. This variety is called Safari Dusk. Has a yellow center to it, very aromatic foliage as well, sort of soft, a little bit of fuzz to it. So deer resistance is really good with this one. And it's like a filler and a spiller. So you're going to get maybe like anywhere from 6 to 12 inches tall, and then it'll start to spill over about 2 foot as far as the branching is concerned. And Taylor and I grew this last year in a combination, and man, it loved the sun, the heat. It even did well in drought. So just be aware, you can't let it go totally dry, but it really could take some of that summer heat last year. And oh my gosh, it just would not stop blooming. Starts and keeps on going all through the season. Self-cleaning, very, very easy to take care of. I will say my biggest hint with Jamesbrittenia is give it a haircut. Take off a few inches, about once every 6 weeks or so, and it will continue to bloom and look absolutely gorgeous for you in the ground, in containers, hanging baskets, what have you. It'll do really, really well. So look for this one. We wanted to give the Petunia family some love. There's lots of new ones out there. Full-size petunias like super petunias, wave petunias are self-cleaning, do very, very well in cooler situations, like if we do have a cooler spring. So they do nicely, but again, full sun conditions are really where they perform the best. Your big flowered petunias like super petunias, wave petunias, they can grow in landscape and ground beds. But again, when it's a little bit cooler in the spring and we're not quite to that last frost date, it's good to have them in containers and plant them in containers so that you're able to move those containers in case, you need to cover them for frost. So just be aware of that. But they do like cool conditions. They grow very, very well in cool conditions, branch very well in cool conditions too. This is a Petunia of the Year from Proven Winners. This is called Hoopla Vivid Orchid, and you can tell beautiful orchid purple color in the center, darker eye, slightly darker, and then that bright white margin. My gosh, how gorgeous. Really stands out there. We're right next to Euphorbia. Lovely, of course. So they grow very, very nicely together. But Petunias, if you're looking for all the different colors, there are so many different, lots of different varieties. I wanted to show you another newer one for us. This is called Cool Jazz. This is a Vista Petunia or Supertunia. So the Vistas are much bigger than your standard Supertunias. Longer branching, kind of a higher mounding habit on them in the landscape too. Bubble gum is usually the most famous of the Vista Supertunias. But Cool Jazz is very pretty, very soft, sort of soft lilac color. And look inside, Taylor, look at the blue inside there. Do you see the blue? It's like a light baby blue. Their anthers are really, really a soft blue. So kind of very, very different, very pretty. On the other side of me, look at these hanging baskets. These are your super cows. They are petcoas. So a petunia crossed with a calibrachoa. So again, that small flowering petunia, if you will, is your calicobra or calibrachoa, or Cali. Sometimes we'll shorten it a little bit. So you'll find with the super cal petunias, again, the flowering still looks really big. We love their habit. We love the super cal colors because they're very bright, but they're a blend of colors usually when you look at the flowers. So very, very unique with those as well. Self-cleaning, again, no problem. And then look at all of the calibrachoas through here. Again, a rainbow of colors. And there's doubles and singles and just gorgeous. Again, soft pink is always really, really nice. This is honeyberry, very popular variety here with the yellow centers and the pink outside. And of course, this is Taylor's favorite. Hold on, Taylor. There you go. There's your over easy. So we show this one a lot with the white on the outside and the yellow on the inside, just like your favorite over easy egg. We're in veggie land, so we do have all the herbs, all the veggies here, but cautionary note, caution, Taylor will give me stars here, is that you really want to watch for those frost dates, okay? It's usually mid-May, so anywhere between the 15th to the 20th of May is usually an okay time to get out there and plant, but you just got to watch those temperatures so we could still get some frost and different things, okay? Here's the thing. If you prep your container gardens and get that soil to heat up in the containers in full sun and plant your veggies and herbs, that's really good. And you can start that a little bit earlier. And again, like I mentioned, you can kind of pull them in or under cover if you need to, if the temperatures get really cold. So think about container garden veggies and herbs right now. And then also good time to prep your soil out in the garden beds. Get it prepped, ready to go, ready to plant. And it'll heat up eventually. And when we get closer to end of May, when it does heat up, that's a great time to plant. Again, when you stick veggies and herbs and even flowering plants that love the sun, but the temperatures are cold and the soil's cold, that can make them go backwards, okay? So just keep that in mind. We're so excited it's May, but you might want to pump the brakes as far as planting in the ground just yet. Hey everybody, I'm in hibiscus land inside our annual greenhouse just to show you that all the tropicals that we saw at Casa Verde in April, They're here. They're in the stores right now. The blooms are going crazy. And if we could get some butterflies in here and some bees in here, they would be so dreamily happy. But yeah, so all of it's here. Remember, your tropical hibiscus are for full sun conditions. They really do like to be even moisture. They like their fertilizer, so make sure whatever fertilizer you prefer to use, make sure you use it regularly, follow those package directions, and my gosh, you will have tropical color at your fingertips all the way to the back. And then do you see that big green plant that's sticking up in the back? That is a bird of paradise. So if you've never seen bird of paradise blooms, I'll have Taylor show you, but really exotic. There's usually a white bird of paradise and then a orangey blue bird of paradise, and they have those lovely sort of long banana leaves, if you will. And we do have some bananas in the greenhouse too, so look for all your tropical plants. We're out in the perennial department now at Oakwood Village, and we are looking at peonies, and Taylor will show you pictures, but these peonies are budded and ready to go. These are your standard bush peonies right here. I have Coral Sunset that is just starting to open. Look at that beautiful peachy color. Oh my gosh. Coral Sunset starts a nice deep kind of peachy pink, and then will fade to a little bit more of that kind of yellow, creamy yellow, really, really pretty. And then this is a classic. This is Sarah Bernhardt. She's classified as a red, but when you look at her, she's like a magenta color, really, really gorgeous. Okay. So your peonies, we love them in Northeast Ohio. They're generally deer resistant. They're coming out of a tuber, out of the soil. They work very, very well for us, except if they're in super wet, heavy clay soil. That's not so good, again, because we want that tuber to stay dry. So make sure that when you install your peonies, you've got them in a well-drained, maybe slightly raised place in full sun. That's always really good, because if you get full sun and good air circulation through the foliage, you won't see leaf spots, mildews, that type of thing too. So just remember to plant your peonies in full sun. Good combo with the peonies, of course. Look behind me. Look at all the clematis. So lots of colors here with the clematis. These are going to be your May blooming varieties, because not all clematis bloom in May. Many of these that you'll see here are part of our Raymond Evison series. They're really wonderful clematis varieties that have a lot of vigor, that tend to repeat bloom through the season. And this is Abilene. And Abilene, you can tell those newer flowers that are just opening are a nice dark rosy pink. But as they sort of fade in color, they get lighter and lighter. So really beautiful, beautiful plant. You'll see all of the stages on this vine. She keeps growing up. She's about 4 foot tall when she gets growing. But man, beautiful color with the clematis. Again, clematis like their foliage and flowers in the sun. They like their roots to be shaded. So you can underplant them with other types of perennials or ground covers, which is great. And then keep that foliage and flower in the sun. They'll be so happy. We wanted to show you I was going to say a shade combo. No. We're in the sun still. So sunny perennial combo, or trio, I should say. Beautiful creeping blue phlox. This is emerald blue, classic type of creeping phlox. Again, these creeping phlox are native to Ohio, really good growers for us, and you've seen them blooming through April and May. Next one is Scent First Orange Sparkler. This is a new dianthus, perennial dianthus. You would look at this flower and say, that's a carnation. Absolutely. It is a very, very full flowered type of carnation. Beautiful peachy color with it, but hints of pink inside. Really, really cool. Cut and come again type dianthus. So, and smell them too. They're so fragrant. And then behind it, salvia. So this is your meadow sage or your flowering perennial salvia. This is East Friesland. Again, very, very common variety, does really, really well in our garden. I love that deep kind of violet blue that it has going. And so your light blues with your sort of pinky peaches with purple, blue, oh my gosh, love it in the sun. We wanted to show you a great flower for the shade. Perennial flower, wonderful mounded perennial. This is called Pulmonium or Jacob's Ladder. Variegated variety, golden feathers. They grow up, they have nice ferny foliage, but they have these beautiful periwinkle blue flowers in the spring. They don't necessarily repeat bloom, but it's a good spring ground cover sort of mounded plant that really fills in the garden nicely and would go very well with your coral bells, with your Lenten roses. So it really does fill in very, very well. This purple foliage variety is called Heaven Sent. The reason being is that it does have a nice, sweet aroma to its foliage and flowering as well in the spring. So grow these in the shade and enjoy them. We're out in the nursery, everybody, and we always enjoy David and his displays out here too. We wanted to mention that lots of things are coming in to flower and coloring up really, really nicely. I should say azaleas down below, they're kind of midway through their bloom season in May, but they're still holding on to flowers. I have this lovely big white azalea here. I should say big white flowering azalea because Delaware Valley is not a big plant, usually about 3 to 4 by 3 to 4 out there in the garden. Evergreen azalea, so Delaware Valley. Right next to it, you can see hydrangeas budding up. This is Let's Dance Can Do. It is a lovely lace cap flower, and it is starting to just form, really open up those new buds. Then just beyond it here, this really pretty purple is Dandyman Purple. It is a lovely rhododendron from Proven Winners, and it has been crossbred to be more disease resistant. So if you're looking for rhododendrons that are a little bit more tolerant of issues in the garden, that's going to be a really good choice for you. And then up above, look at this cute standard lilac tree. This one's called Flowerfest. Flowerfest is a new one for us. It's Flowerfest Purple, and it's a Syringa myri, which if you've ever heard of Miss Kim lilacs, that's the same family, same species. And what you find here is kind of a lavender pinky bloom, or I should say bud, sorry. And then when they do open up, they are very, very light lavender, almost white color when they bloom. Flowerfest is a repeat bloomer, so similar to Bloomerang, but 2 times. So once in the spring, coming on real nicely, and then once in the fall. So really fun. Again, sunny areas, the rhododendron and the azaleas, they'd really like to be in part shade areas. The hydrangea, Let's Dance Can Do, part shade as well. So if your lilac tree is shading some of the plants underneath, that works out really, really nicely for everybody, and they'll do really well for you. And don't be afraid. Again, the nursery plants are ready to go, ready to plant. You can plant any of these at this time of year, no problem whatsoever, even with some cold snaps. The only thing that you need to do is cover if they're blooming, so you're protecting those flowers, okay? Oh, the sun came out, Taylor. How exciting. I did want to mention that in the nurseries as well, you'll start to see the roses come in. So we are right by carts and carts of knockout roses and their green pots that are coming in right now. There are some roses here on the property, but we usually wait until May for them to start shipping them in. Because they can be just a little bit delicate out in the cold there. But the rest of the plant's doing great. Scotch broom is coming onto flower. The Japanese maples have leafed out for the most part. They look really good. More hydrangeas. The endless summer varieties are really, really busting out. We do have a few that have colored up and look really nice. The original endless summer look really nice right now. So there's plenty to look at. Come and visit us today. Enjoy.